just to clarify, I'll be spending most of the time on the Minor Planet Center, just giving an update, and then just kind of a lead in, and then Eric will be following. I'll take some questions. Eric will be following with the asteroid subnode overview. So just to get started, just as a reminder, the Minor Planet Center is really, it's the clearinghouse for astrometric data of small bodies. They distribute and collect positional measurements and designate the orbits of the minor planets and comets, the asteroids and comets. As of 2 years ago, it became a functional subnode. A little over 2 years ago, it became a functional subnode of the small bodies node of the NASA Planetary Data System. We serve as an intermediary between the MPC and NASA's PDCO. SBN has actually offloaded some of the MPC ancillary responsibility to the nodes, responsibilities to the node itself, caretaking the light curve database, caretaking the International Asteroid Warning Network website, and we also help support the Minor Planet Center by keeping a live database record, live record of their database, and backing that up and archiving it. So our recent hardware upgrades at the small bodies node have facilitated our ability to take in larger data volumes, but it's also allowed us to dedicate server to the MPC support functions. And one of these functions, again, is archiving the MPC database. It's backed up to the University of Maryland's cloud base. Cloud, basically it's a Google Cloud. It has a full history of the original database as we received it, all the way up with the incremental updates. The SBN will be the distributor of the new form of the database. The new database is being developed at the Minor Planet Center, and it'll be a Postgres-based database. And there was actually an initial test of the Postgres database ingest and distribution completed in February 2019. Okay, so in terms of the light curve database, again, it migrated to the small bodies node. The asteroid subnode is now the caretaker of that database, but Brian Warder still maintains that database, but the asteroid subnode is caretaking that and coming up with a legacy plan for that database moving forward. The International Asteroid Warning Network website was launched about a year ago, a little over a year ago. There have been constant upgrades and new features. Feature articles are constantly added to the website. Also updates in terms of IWAN and its membership, features on the members, features on the campaigns, and automated and updated close approach data. We're also synced with the CNEO's website as well. We support the organization of observing campaigns like the two recent planetary defense, international planetary defense campaigns through IWAN. These include 2012 TC4, which had a close flyby in October of 2017, and then the recent 1999 KW4 observing campaign, which the flyby for which was May 25th. We provide observing information and observing support, information plots for planning and forms for planning the observing campaign and the different resources that are used in the campaign. galleries for observing results for those that wish to have their results posted. And then we also set up a data repository for sharing of data across science groups and facilitate rapid analysis of those data that are obtained. It also provides information about the targets, current information about the targets. So the MPC also has a number of technical improvements in the pipeline. One of them is coming down the road. One of them is a more generalized MPC checker or MP checker. The goal of this is to improve detections improved detections and tracklets, utilize improved tracklets of known orbits, provide accurate integrations of orbits, and there's a test deployment scheduled for the end of this summer. This effort is being led by Matt Payne, who is also leading another effort. We'll get to that in a second. The MPC has also stood up a astrometry data exchange standard, a new standard. This is an XML-based reporting format. It also has pipe-separated value format associated with it. This allows for the reporting of uncertainties in astrometry and other attributes like photometry to the Minor Planet Center, and that goes into the database for the Minor Planet Center, and the new database will incorporate that and distribute the ADES, the full data of the ADES, available through the ADES format and reported through the ADES format. So other MPC advancements, there's now the ability to the support of exposure information for non-detections. That's being coordinated again by Matt Payne, and that's for coordinating NEOCP follow-up. This is it's a simple format, but it allows for more information in terms of where people looked, and so there's no duplicate so there's less duplicative effort in that regard for follow-up. There's also brand new, this is just off the press product that was developed by Paresh Prema, who is a new hire at the Minor Planet Center, and this is a web form linked to the Comet confirmation page that allows for attributes of Comet observations to be reported. And that, again, that was just launched. So in February of this year, a new version of the NEOCP uncertainty maps were launched, and those are a Markov chain Monte Carlo generated uncertainty maps. That was stood up, and I think that's had a positive response from the community. Heliocentric linking is being implemented in and tested at the Minor Planet Center. It's been run on a few instances, and will be integrated with the upgrades to the processing. So why all of this concentration on new processes? Well, and a new processing pipeline and other features, and that's basically the ever-growing volume of data. So in the early 90s, the MPC received annually about 70,000 observations. Currently, per year, it's at about 25 million observations. With LSST and NeoCam, it's expected on the order of 200 million observations per month will be will be received and need to be processed by the Minor Planet Center. So we will need bigger plots, so that's important. The community, there's also an effort to communicate with the community. Most recently, it was apparent that this needs to be augmented, and a recent disk failure earlier this month emphasized the need for better communication. In response to that, and also the move off of vintage architecture systems. In response to that, the MPC has brought their communications of outages and downages, I don't know if that's really a word, but downtime more in line with SBN policy, standard SBN procedures, and that is red box notices being up within a few hours of the noted downtime, a similar red box for anticipated downtime, and then updates as situations evolve. And that red box is on the front page of the MPC now. And then also there's been an increased effort to move off of the vintage architecture, which is basically VMS systems. Good night. NEO operations, in terms of community input, we often hold make reports during the NEO operations workshop at the DPS. There is a web forum comment boxes at the MPCs and SBN websites. And then the MPC users group, the MUG, meets twice per year. I think Lindley mentioned this yesterday. It's been a very successful form of input. It's guided improvements of the MPC and its processes, and it's a good body to engage the community through. And they're working hard to position the MPC and as well as members of the community to cope with the increase in volume that's expected in the next few years. So just as how the MUG functions, it's right now there are 11 total members. There are 6 full members, and then a roster of alternates. These are very skilled users, generally associated with specialties or surveys in particular, or orbit solution people, dynamicists as well. We meet twice per year, one at the CFA. That's our summer meetings tend to be at the Minor Planet Center's home base, and then another site wanders. There is a clear charter and a rotating roster, so beware. Squeaky wheels will be threatened with MUG terms. And some recent recommendations is removal from the VMS machine, dependencies on the VMS machines, migration to database-centric operations, and eliminating, doing cross-training of the staff so that there's a more even distribution of the load for operations across the Minor Planet Center. Okay, so I want to just spend the last few slides talking about the small bodies nodes, the Comet subnode in particular, and some of, well, actually both nodes, and just give a rough overview of some recent work. DOIs are now issued through the small bodies node for data sets. These are, for those that aren't familiar, these are data object identifiers. They're more or less the coin of exchange for references for data sets. And then SBN is a data site member, and ADS recognizes refereed publication status for PDS data sets. Tool development and support is continuing. Just some highlights, some brief highlights. Olaf has several improvements for PDS-4 support, and the PDS-4 viewer is also supported with a recent release just earlier this spring. A fully cloud-based backup is now underway. We've heard the encouragement to move to cloud-based resources, and so we're using the cloud, which is an excellent tool for backup, both for the MPC database as stated, but also now we're standing up complete backups of the small bodies node to Amazon Web Services in coordination with the PDS engineering node. A couple other things of note. We of course continue our conference training and support, and Eric will expand on this, including our 3D models, which seem to be very popular, and they've gotten some notice at the PDC. Our Apophis models received the imprimatur of official bling of the PDC 2019 conference. So we're also developing our archive search tools particularly for surveys. We have the NEAT survey that's been archived, and we're standing up a tool for that in the near future. Right now, we have a prototype of that that we're in the process of debugging, but it does have NEAT data in it, and this is 65p observations right here. So in terms of, there are just some recent highlighted releases. Neowise diameters were released in March. New Horizons Kuiper Belt extended mission data was released in June. Dawn series data last month, and some Rosetta data, a large chunk of Rosetta data, March 2019, March of this year. And then there are some impending or imminent releases of data sets coming down the pipeline very soon. So that's all I had. If I don't know if we have time for brief questions or not. Go ahead and take, I think there might be questions about the MPC, so I'll take them now while Eric.
Dan Adamo. I'm curious if the disk failure this month resulted in any data loss, and did the cloud backup help minimize that?
Okay, so we did not have to go to the cloud backup. There's regular, the MPC regularly backs that up. In terms of data loss, I don't think so, but Matt Holman, the director, can speak to that.
There were certainly no observations lost, because those data were not being, they were already, that operation was already shifted over to Linux systems that were regularly backed up. There were some code that we recovered for generation of monthly MPC products.
Okay, and I'm just wondering if there are any ongoing concerns like malware threats or anything like that that you feel you need maybe a finding from this group to help further along?
Go ahead, Matt. Do you want to respond to that?
You're saying from the bug?
Yeah, no, actually, from the SBAG, this group.
Any input you have regarding things like malware would be appreciated. I think we get regularly attacked and do a pretty good job of defending against that. But any input is appreciated.
Yeah, I'm thinking more in terms of support, because you guys are the experts, not me, certainly. But I think that's the end of my question.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a question on, or a comment online from Melissa. I noticed that the red box did not have a posting timestamp, so it's hard to determine the time span for fixes.
All right.
Yeah, we can add that.
Yeah, that should be, yeah, we add it. Go ahead.
Mike DeSanti, NASA Goddard. There's been an ongoing frustration with getting announcements, access to announcements of new discoveries, particularly long period comets. And I'm just wondering, is there any allowance for integrating, IAU circulars or CBETs into the SBN, or, has that been discussed?
So do you mean actually archiving it into,
Well, it's been hard for me at least, and
Yeah.
I think others, to get a subscription to, to get, announcements.
right? Okay, so the
for
CBET, this,
observations.
yeah, this, the IAU circulars, that's a different service from the Minor Planet Center. But if you want to talk about the products, Matt.
Yeah, so the old system that Dan Green ran is no longer connected with the IAU or the MPC, so it's not a not a formal system that that was by IAU decision. But if you want announcements about discovery of comets or things like that, it's easy to sign up for. Just shoot me an email, but we'll make sure that it should be on the page.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
MPC page.
there's no subscription, there's no cost to that.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, there are instructions.
Okay.
And just a minor tweak on that. Dan is still providing that service though, still. So anyway, okay.
Hi, Gerbs. Joe Massaro, JPL. Just wanted to confirm, I don't know if you specifically said it, MPC is fully recovered from the disk failure. Is everything been brought back online, or are there still things that need to be fixed? You should stand up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
So as I explained to Gerbs earlier today, that we have recovered from all of the daily operations. The remaining thing that exists on VMS is the monthly stuff. We're in the process of shifting over the mid-month batches, and we're nearly there with the monthly stuff. And then after that, at some point we can declare victory, and we'll go through an exercise where we actually, with announcement, take the VMS machines off the network to just flush out any remaining dependencies that we may not be aware of.
Great. And, oh, go ahead. Thanks. Thank you.